No. Wow. Oh my word. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's your favorite Cuban German, Rosalie. Welcome to the ultimate world music reaction channel, all about music from around the globe and psychology. Looking for encouragement. We're here to take these rides, to grow, to learn. I'm really happy that you're here. Today we're diving into something very special. We're going to check out another song by Ren. He's released a new song and I'm very excited to see it. It's called Illest of Our Time. Ren is a phenomenal artist. I know he's been blowing up. He's getting that recognition that is so well deserved. Make sure to check the links below to subscribe to his channel, to check out the original video of his song Illest of Our Time. Let's support him. But I think what's amazing about this artist, and we won't go into too much detail yet, but what I really love about his work is that it's multifaceted. I've said that before. I've reacted to Hi Ren. I've looked at Sick Boy. I've seen some of his work with Chinchilla. More to come. But I find him very intriguing and fascinating because his work manages to cross borders, not only physically in space in regards to reaching people all around the world. He's from the UK originally, but also he's connecting all kinds of generations. People of all ages love his work. There's something very relevant about what he does. His style, rapping, singing, his musical composition. He's young, he's got a lot to offer, and I feel like he's being received well by younger generations, but at the same time, he's being respected, listened to, and admired by older generations because of his musical skill, and for me personally, because he dives deep into psychology, philosophy, topics that are important. And I think we live in a day and age where people are starving for substance, for real things. And so that's one of the things that I really appreciate about Ren. But today I want to check out Illest of Our Time. I saw a little trailer a few days ago and it already had an interesting beat. It already had intriguing cinematography. And I'm excited to see what happens. Oh, and as you can see, I'm rocking my latest merch collection. Ren is out here taking names and inspiring people worldwide, so much so that I created some merch inspired by his song, Hi Ren. And I won't go into too much detail what it means, but the message is dance in the light. This idea of breaking out of darkness, choosing hope as we deal in this life with that battle, that dance between hope and despair, between light and dark, and day and night, and ups and downs. So stand up and dance in the light. I got all kinds of different products, t-shirts, sizes, a couple of other variations of this design, including a ballet version if you want to support the beautiful art that is ballet. Check out my merch in the Rosalie Reacts store in the links below and right here. Okay, guys. Let's dive in. Illest of Our Time. When I think of ill, I think of sick. I think interesting to have another word that plays with, deals with that idea, right? We had sick boy, now we have ill. The definition of ill, not in full health, being sick, poor in quality. As an adverb, it can be used when we're saying badly, wrongly, or only with difficulty, something that hardly. As a noun, it could mean problem or misfortune. So we know the word ill, illest of our time. Is that talking about the day and age we live in? We'll see. We'll find out. All right, guys. I'm excited. Okay, here we go.
1, 2, 3, spitting bullets on the beat. I'm a sick little puppy who gets lucky when he speaks. Blessed with a silver tongue, chest with an iron lung. Extraterrestrial tentacles, aliens, psychopathic tendons.
Stop. I'm gonna start over. Oh, I'm already getting goosebumps. I'm getting a similar feel that I got in Sick Boy, that really hype, the sirens in the background, that beat that's kicking in really hard, the bass. I mean, setting the tone, and it's giving me a new angle of Ren. Right now, the feelings I'm experiencing, you know, we're all about music and psychology. The observer influences the observation, so keep in mind, I will bring in my personal perceptions. The feeling I'm getting right now, in addition to that excitement and the goosebumps and that anticipation, is respect. There's something about the way that just came in with the pig mask. We'll talk about that later. Opening the door to what could have been an elevator, looked like some hallway, some type of basement. Again, works with his theme, his brand, the cinematography of the videos he's been putting out, which I love, is great marketing too, by the way, from that perspective. Being consistent, having a brand, just putting your name on stuff, right? Where people know this is Ren. But what's powerful here is it's giving me a sense of respect. Even though there's words like ill, which makes me think of Sick Boy, which deals with hard topics, there's a level of fierceness and respect, right? We didn't come to play. And I like that because it gives me another side of Ren. And I think that is another example to show we can't box him in, right? He's been through struggles. He's shared his struggles honestly. He's been vulnerable. He's an artist, so we can tell that he has a big heart. He is a person of substance. But at the same time, it gives me this feeling of, yeah, don't mess with him. Respect. This is not just a sick boy. You know what I'm saying? We can't just identify him through the lens of what he's been through or what he's shared with us. Because psychologically, we tend to do that as people. We see something and we start boxing people in and looking at them through that lens. It's hard to break out of that because that's all we know, our worldview. So it's given me this new angle to look at Ren from. I like it. Let me start over though, and we'll talk about all the different symbolisms and things that I'll pick up on. Remember, guys, when I titled some of my videos Therapist React, it's because I have a master's in counseling psychology. We're all about music and psychology here. I'm also a singer-songwriter, worked as a therapist, not a licensed therapist in my state, but worked as a therapist towards my licensure. Then I worked as a full-time teacher, trying to integrate my training and the things that I've learned because I'm passionate about helping people, encouraging people. So that's what we're all about here. All right, let's start over.
One, two, three, spitting bullets on the beat. I'm a sick little puppy who gets lucky when he speaks. Blessed with a silver tongue, chest with an iron lung. Extraterrestrial tentacles, aliens. Psychopathic tendencies, a pathologic entity. If everything is set in stone, then this is how it's meant to be. Elementary, dear Watson, you might find yourself inside the mind of the illest of our time.
Get it poppin', hot rockin'. I'm Freddy Krueger, I'm chopping. I turn it up to 11, the demigod of upping. The strangest thing, I'm the boss. When the danger lingers, I'm plotting.
Sweet like a spoonful of sugar, because I'm merry like popping.
The double barrel is cocking, a shotgun sheltered the noggin. I'm coughing, catchy bronchitis, you're in your funeral coffin. No stopping, blocking me not when I pick the world up, I'm squatting. And when I take from the rich, I'm in your hood and I'm robbing. 4, 5, 6, spit a crucifix. 6, 6, 6, flow, crucify a Catholic.
Maverick, anti-hero villain, not protagonist. Words are kind of muffled when you're sucking on my massive.
Who's the fucking illest? Who's the realest? Who's the baddest kid? Call the police on this beat before I damage it. A kiddie called Screech on the streets, I'm a masochist. So
oh my goodness, there's so many references here. Okay, he's getting a little intense on this one. He is like, oh snap. I mean, there's a couple of things. I'm not going to say it out loud. You probably caught on to it or saw it in my face. He is being intense here. A level of provocation, a level of, I'm going to say some intense things, that is going to make some people uncomfortable. But I still get a sense that there's way more here. I mean, from religious references to 666 and the crucifix and the Catholic, great wordplay. Continuously just amazing how he brings in the English literary art, from rhymes to assimilations to all kinds of different things he's using here. The masks, this time we went from just the pig mask, which we know from Sick Boy and even in Hiren, which is who pushes him in on in the wheelchair. And then here, that pig that introduces or opens the doorway for all of us to join him, to, come into the video, if you will, right? And now multiple animals from, is that a pit bull? Or no, that's not a pit bull. What type of dog is that? That's like a French bulldog, something. A dog, different animal masks. And that in itself is interesting. I won't talk too much about the symbolism and things that I'm picking up here or what it could possibly mean, but definitely a way more intense vibe. References like Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger is a fictional character, and he is the antagonist in A Nightmare on Elm Street, that film series. This malevolent spirit of a child killer who'd been burned to death by his victim's parents after evading prison. So a lot of dark and heavy references. And also things like, all of them walking in this, what looks like parking garage, parking deck with baseball bats, like just hardcore, coming after something.
Massive.
who's the fucking illest? Who's the realest? Who's the baddest kid? Call the police on this beat before I damage it. A kiddie called Screech on the streets, I'm a masochist.
A kitty called Screech. Like, there's all these different references, dude.
I'm a masochist, so far from reach, I'm the type to kill a pacifist. Catalyst for chemical combustion, I'm the analyst of metaphors and similes and synonyms and alchemist. Evangelist, spread the words I seek like they're cancerous. Pragmatist, think before I speak, then I answer it.
Pull up to the place. When I pull it, bang, I pull it, sang it, shot right into space. Music for the hooligans let loose on the estate. Call the police now? Has lost all meaning, how can we all be free in a hierarchy breeding ground? The poor get poorer while the rich get rich in style. I'll be a heretic, killer king, take his crown. Top of the phone, top of the kingdom I own, top of the streets that I roam, top of the dome, spitting for Britain I shown, bust like a cellular phone. Hyping like Tyson, an icon, go twice in, left right in, I'm striking, like I'm biting, like a python.
Whoa. Okay, so we know that he can rap, okay? And a big focus of mine as I've been exploring his work has been the lyrics, obviously, the psychology behind what he's trying to say. What in the unicorn farts is drawn on that wall? Okay. But yeah, just like we've been diving into the psychology, the composition of his work, but I know he can rap. Well, what he's doing here is really showing me a new angle to his abilities. I mean, the way that he just switched rhythmically, the cadences, dropping those bars, and it's really interesting. Like I said, the sense that I'm getting that I got in the beginning was intense and respect, and he didn't come to play. And as it continues, I'm getting that vibe of rebellion, calling things out from politically, right? Talking about pacifists, talking about the rich are getting richer, the poor getting poor, addressing socioeconomic issues, but then also bringing in religion references, as I mentioned earlier, and even now, evangelist, a lot of wordplay here, but topics that are like, taboo to a degree or that are uncomfortable. Let's keep going.
Ready, I'm heavy, I'm Mercury, I am Freddy. So eat my words, fill your belly like alphabet, spaghetti. I am a rap star, don't believe me, the facts are I spit fast like a NASCAR. Don't believe me, then fuck your shit. I don't feel so well. I don't feel so well.
That's from that clip, that trailer.
I don't feel so well.
Call a medic for myself. I don't feel so hot, my brother. Aching, shaking, stop, then stutter. Things gone wrong, hit by King Kong, ace, one ton bomb like Hardy Brothers. I don't feel so fresh, my bro. Things look blurry, speaking slow. Head in Hong Kong, wonton soup is what I have for brains. I know that I
want to spread these tattered wings, hold them high. Banished from the heavens, but I'm knocking on the sky. Living with depression is a blessing in disguise. Never second guessing, intuition getting wise. Want to sink in.
Living with depression is a blessing. Getting wise. Wow. I want to go back a bit because I know I just kept going, but that rhythmic switch in his cadences, dude.
And I shown, but like a cellular phone.
Hyping like Tyson, an icon, go twice in, left right in, I'm striking, like I'm biting, like a python. Ready, I'm heavy, I'm Mercury, I am Freddy. So eat my words, fill your belly like alphabet, spaghetti. I am a rap star, don't believe me, the facts are I spit fast like a NASCAR.
Don't believe me, then fuck your shit.
I don't feel so well. I don't feel so well. I don't feel so well.
Call a medic for myself. I don't feel so hot, my brother. Aching, shaking, stop, then stutter. Things gone wrong, hit by King Kong, ace, one ton bomb like Hardy Brothers. I don't feel so fresh, my bro. Things look blurry, speaking slow. Head in Hong Kong, wonton soup is what I have for brains. I know that I
want to spread these tattered wings, hold them high. Banished from the heavens, but I'm knocking on the sky. Living with depression is a blessing in disguise. Never second guessing, intuition getting wise. Want to sink into the pupil of my eye. Travel to the corner of my cornea and mind. Look for all the answers that I never seem to find.
Till then, I guess I'm still the illest of our time.
Oh, no. Wow. Oh, my word. Oh, that was sick, boy. Haha. See what I did there? Okay. Dude. Oh, I have a feeling there's so much I might miss. I don't want to. I really want to try to capture it all. I had like thoughts as I was listening, but it's hard to just pick up on everything. Okay, my first thought, my first impression, like I said, there's this respect feeling that I get. Again, the observer influences the observation. That's me, okay? In his past work, I had a respect for him, but it was from a place of part of it was empathy, right? Seeing the struggles, seeing him talk about heavy things, a respect in the sense of, wow, he's really not afraid to talk about hard things when it comes to mental health and his own journey. And he's really making people feel seen. That's what a lot of you were saying. Even in the comments, you guys felt understood, especially in Hiren, that dance between dark and light, right? That moment when he stood up and he was speaking about hope and not giving up, right? It was this encouragement to so many of us who have that battlefield in our mind to not give up. Then in Sick Boy, right, addressing some of the crap that we experience his struggles with the misdiagnosis, some of the crap we experience when it comes to mental health, that pig mask, right? That cold, nonchalant, uncaring therapist, psychologist that was sitting across from him. Different things, even in his work with Chinchilla, chalk outlines, right? Meaningful lyrics of substance that are beautiful and fun to interpret, vocal performance. I mean, beautiful. So, oh, and then in his trilogy, right, Ren and Screech and not Ren and Screech, Screech and Violet and Jenny, just storytelling, right? I've seen all these different facets of him: his storytelling ability, his singing ability, his guitar skills, his just mastermind composition and lyrical work. But here, I was very impressed to see the depth of his ability as a rapper. And it came in strong. The pig opening the door, which to me, as I said earlier, is great for from a branding and marketing perspective. I love the psychology behind even that, right? When you have certain cinematographies, you have a certain red thread. It's still a unique piece of work in and of itself, and it stands alone. And it's another facet of Ren. I don't know. I think I heard somewhere someone mentioned it. Maybe I even heard him say it, that he did not want to be looked at just through the lens of the sick boy, that you know, ill artist, because he was bedridden for a while, right? And he's being transparent about his journey. Fans are following that, are supporting him, and it's beautiful. But understandably, he does not want to be viewed through just that. And I think many of us can relate to that. Regardless if it's our victories or our struggles, we don't just want to be looked at through one lens. We're multifaceted human beings. We are holistic, body, mind, spirit. There's so much to us beyond what we've done or what's been done to us. And we tend to do that, though, because it gives us a sense of control. It gives us a sense of familiarity and therefore safety to box people in and to connect things and compare and contrast. And it can be a helpful tool to communicate, but at the same time, it can also limit us from seeing the full picture. And so when people tend to do that, it also stifles how we may express ourselves as artists and human beings, because we can't get into the other person's head what we're trying to say, right? You will never fully grasp how I see the world or what I mean, because by the time it's left my brain through my mouth, through communication, by the time it's reached your mind, it's been changed either through language, through various interpretations, through your experiences. You will perceive it because you are you and I'm me, and we will never fully walk in the other's shoes. And that, on one hand, makes us unique and it makes life very special, if you will, but it can also make things very lonely. And as I mentioned in Hiren, when it comes to existential struggles, sometimes that loneliness, this feeling of, I want to be understood, I want to be seen fully and known fully, and I cannot fully convey what I mean and who I am. That can sometimes also trigger existential fears because it makes us feel very alone. And with Ren, again, I think I've heard him say he doesn't want to just be looked at as the sick boy, right? And so he's showing us these various sides of him, I feel. And here I'm seeing the side of him that is incredibly talented as a rapper. His rhythmic flow, the melodic forms of his rapping, I appreciate. Like I've said this before in some other videos. I'm no rap guru. I'm no specialist in the field. I like certain rap, but I don't like mumble rap. I don't like when it's just eeny, meeny, miny, mo over and over. I love when there's melodic flows, when the cadences are fresh, when the bars are awesome, and you stay on your toes. And he really gave us that here. Constantly just what's happening next. You had to pay close attention. You had to be on high alert. Even now, I'm going to have to go back and just review some of it again because I know I'm going to miss some things. So many different, just even switching from slower, faster rhythm, switching in beats per minute, switching in his cadences and in his rhythmic flows, but it all worked so well. The video, the cinematography, really well done. Switching from as he's standing there shirtless to suddenly back in his sweatshirt attire. His attire, by the way, was also well chosen. And I'm not saying that it was intentional. It reminded me actually of what NF has on, minus the hat, minus the cap. Let me see here. It reminds me just a little bit of what NF has on in Hope and Motto, and I think that's really cool. I'm not saying he did it for that reason. Ren, as I've said before, is an artist in his own lane, and there's only so much new under the sun, okay? We see people do things and it reminds us of something else, but it will be wrong to say, oh, they stole that, right? There's nothing new under the sun, okay? We all have been inspired by things that have come before us, sometimes even unconsciously. That's just how the world works. It's ripple effects. And that's beautiful. That's how we can live on. through others as we ripple into people's lives and do something meaningful in our life. But it just reminds me of that outfit. I'm not saying that's why he did it. It also works well from a cinematography standpoint as he's surrounded by all these other people in the animal masks and they're wearing black. So that too is a cool contrast, right? The dark and the light, that black and white works well because he is the main performer, main vocalist, main rapper here. And so it gives this, from a visual standpoint, this focus on him, right? Puts him in the forefront. So there's various reasons why that could have been done. Then at one point, he's sitting on a chair in ropes, wearing a black tank top and has that white hat. So just constantly this red thread, very artistic but well done. Constantly a red thread when it comes to cinematography, lighting, when it comes to the colors that they're wearing. Colors have an impact on us psychologically too, and they represent various things to us. And I think that's just brilliant. I mean, his team is good. The details that they're paying attention to. Then at one point, we have that, what is it, a gorilla fighting the pig. That is also very symbolic. And there's a cage around them, and others, I think, watching through the cage, almost like one of those underground fights, I feel. And that kind of gives me that feeling here. All the other animals watching, right? The dog and what is that, a fox or something? But what's interesting here is that it's the gorilla or the monkey, the gorilla, what type of gorilla is that? Fighting, beating, whooping the pig. And that's interesting because we have the pig in Sick Boy, and that therapist would switch between that female therapist, counselor, psychoanalyst, back to the pig mask. And so having this gorilla monkey beat him, like having this gorilla fight this pig, I wonder if that is supposed to be Ren fighting the system, fighting, you know, his way of processing the misdiagnosis and some of the things he experienced by the professionals where he was let down. Maybe his way of fighting the system, his way of just being his own artist, showing us he is the illest of our time, right? It gives me this idea of a confidence of putting his foot down, leaving his mark and going, you know, I'm not just the sick boy in the sense of a sick boy, right? What he does is sick boy, is dope, but he is talented, he is good, and he's putting his foot down saying, I'm the illest of our time. Like, I'm here, I'm leaving my mark, and I'm good at what I do. A level of confidence, kind of like what we see with NF in Motto, or even NF in his song Real, where he's coming in with that energy, that confidence to go, I'm not going to be pushed down, neither by the music industry, because even Ren, right? He's his own artist. He's his own artist. He's getting the acknowledgement that he deserves, but he wasn't some mainstream artist that just was giving in to the pressures and expectations of the music industry, right? So there's that fight. There's a fight with his health, with his illnesses and his sickness. There's a fight with, you know, people's expectations. Like I said earlier, maybe that being boxed and caged in by what people see you as or what they expect of you. It could be interpreted in different ways, but I wonder if he's supposed to be that gorilla monkey here that's fighting the pig. Let me look at some of the lyrics. Oh, and even the beat. I mean, that bass was hard. There was elements of it that had an EDM vibe to me that really brought in that, I don't know, almost like a little bit of that UK drill vibe, I feel. I said this in another video, but I recently listened to snippets of UK versus US drill, and I personally think I prefer UK drill. And I feel like there's elements of that, the siren, that hard beat, the bass, and elements of EDM here that really give it a really dope, I don't know, I hear the European a little bit, and I like it. 1, 2, 3, spitting bullets on the beat. Yo, I'm a sick little puppy who gets lucky when he speaks. Interesting. But he's looking at us with this authority and this power. I respect that. And I wonder if some of that is also a reflection of those internal battles and that internal turmoil as we saw in High Ren, right? I'm a sick little puppy. For one, maybe because people would treat him like that or talk to him like that, or maybe because that's how he felt when he was misdiagnosed, felt like something was wrong with him, right? When we're down about ourselves, we may sometimes feel that way. We may sometimes talk about ourselves that way. Oh, I'm nothing. I'm just a little sick puppy. Blast with the silver tongue. I thought it said blessed with the silver tongue. Trashed with an iron lung. He's got a silver tongue, right? He's skilled at rapping, skilled at writing, but he has an iron lung, his health issues. Extraterrestrial tentacles. Dude, the alliteration here. Extraterrestrial tentacle, alien. Psychopathic, psychopathic tendencies, apoplectic entity. It's how it's meant to be, elementary. The Watson, you might find yourself inside the mind of the illest of our time. Wow. And Watson, is that a reference to, oh my gosh, is Watson a reference to the fictional character John H. Watson, a fictional English physician who is Sherlock Holmes's devoted friend and associate in a series of detective stories? Because he's talking about inside the mind of, right? You're like that idea of a detective, of a physicist. Dude, how do you like, we're talking about illness, psychopathic tendencies, all these word plays on pathology and psychopathic. And maybe too a reference to that time where maybe he felt like he was something was wrong with him, and all along is, I believe, Lyme's disease, but feeling like he's going crazy, and he's saying all this aggressively, passionately, as he's surrounded by all these different animals. And what do we have here? We have some really creepy looking cats. We got monkeys. We got the pig. We got, what is it, a llama? We've got, is that a donkey or a horse? And a dog. As a spirit animal, the monkey represents intelligence, playfulness, curiosity. It can also be a symbol of mischievousness, trickster energy. Dogs often represent unconditional love and loyalty. It's just interesting to me that he picked these various animals. The llama, if that is a llama, if I saw correctly, is often, it's a long-standing cultural tradition in Bolivia and Peru that stands for, symbolizes power, respect, reverence among indigenous people. Okay, so maybe that's not what he meant here. Okay, maybe he just picked random animals because that's the masks they had, but maybe there was more here. I like diving deeper, but it's just interesting to have the pig because of that reference to Sick Boy, even how that pig could represent the music industry, right? That cutthroat, as he talks about in Sick Boy, I believe. This reference to that world we live in, the time we live in, right? He is the illest of our time in regards to how sick his work is, how dope it is, but he's also sick because he's physically struggling with those ailments. But then we live in a world that is also pretty sick with a lot of corruption and confusion, religious corruption. Perhaps that's why he's using some of those religious references, the political corruption. Perhaps why he's talking about that gap, economically speaking, between the rich and the poor, right? We live in a society where the corruption, the government, that abuse is disgusting. And a lot of times, even though pigs are actually pretty clean animals, if you say, oh, somebody's a pig, right? The cops are pigs, and those type of expressions, it's meant as an insult. We got cats, right? Cats, they're loved and hated, right? Sometimes they can be cunning and conniving. Sometimes they can be super sweet. They're very independent. They do their own thing. Could that be a reference to him being his own artist, independent in his own lane? I know I'm going deep, and I could be totally wrong, and he could just be like, yeah, these are just all random animals that I picked for fun. But it's just really interesting, okay? Meant to be elementary, right? These rhymes, Watson, you might find yourself inside the mind of the illest of our time. The subtitles read Demigorgon. That could be a typo. Maybe he meant Demogorgon, a mysterious spirit or deity, often explained as a primeval creator god who antedates the gods of Greek mythology. I mean, really, just some of these references that are like, I'm coming in strong. I'm the illest of our time. Like, I'm it. I'm the it. A spoonful of sugar references to coughing, catchy bronchitis. You're in your funeral, no stopping, blocking. I mean, the rhymes, the cadences, these references to health and medicine, right? A spoonful of sugar, talking about Mary Poppins. I mean, the wordplay there, right? And when you give medicine, you usually do it with a spoonful of sugar when you're giving kids medicine. Kitty called Screech on the streets. I mean, those rhymes and plays here, that reference to Screech from his trilogy. I'm the type to kill a pacifist. Pacifists are people who believe that war and violence are unjustifiable. So he's someone that would kill a pacifist. Interesting wordplay here, right? A chemical combustion. I'm the analyst. I mean, talk about just wordplays in regards to religion, politics, mental health, metaphors and similes and synonyms. I mean, talking about what he literally does and brings into his writing abilities. How do you do that? Evangelists spread the words I seek like they're cancerous. Because evangelists, they go out to preach and to spread the word. And then here with this group in the garage, no more animal masks now, talking about hooligans and people want to play, where you can feel, where I feel you can tell the influences of Europe and of UK and where he's from originally, using words like hooligans. And I feel like he did that even in his trilogy, where there's references, I think it was a Big Ben reference and whatnot, right? Just relevant to his heritage. I'll be a heretic, which is someone who spreads heresies, false teachings. kill a king, take his crown. I think the vibe that I'm really getting here definitely is I'm the illest of our time. Like I'm it, showing up, putting his foot in the door, showing us his skills in regards to rhythm, bars, cadences, literary art, while giving us the literal words for the various forms of literary art. Um, being provocative, saying a couple of things that had me going, oh snap. I'm glad he left out the word in that particular part. But I think really trying to be provocative. Eat my words through your belly like alphabetic spaghetti. Ah, my goodness, the bars here. Oh my goodness, I could have done without the my big beep. I could have done without that part. To me, I feel like psychologically, and this is my perception, we're all about real talk, real reaction. So I have to be true to also how I feel. Those type of things to me make it a little harder just to fully open myself up to the art and just experience it and enjoy it, because there's just too much of that in the music industry. There's too much of those foul references and just nasty. I think the idea is really to be provocative. It's really to test, to say some things that have people going, oh my gosh, he didn't just go there. Sink into the pupil of my eye, travel to the corner of my cornea. Travel to the corner of my cornea. Look for all the answers that I never seem to find. I mean, talking earlier about, searching the mind of the illest of our time, and then ending with that mic drop. Sheesh. Okay, different side of Ren. I think it was neat to see a new aspect of him, a new side. Psychologically, I don't know what else I can add to that. I feel like the message here that I perceived was, like I said, kicking down the door, putting his foot down, presenting himself and his rap abilities in regards to hip hop, rap, leaving his mark. But still just impressing us with one crazy bar after the other, touching on mental health, on health in general, mental health, physical health, politics, religion, provoking, just making some heavy statements. What did y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. This was an interesting ride. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo!